All right, everybody, it is Puka. It is the One to Go show. I just want to thank Blue Line Brews, BlueLineBrews.com. Go in the show links. You'll find the website, everything they're doing for us at One to Go Show and Go Sports. And I am here with the legend, one of my heroes growing up, the 4F of Jeff Hinkemeyer, just minutes ago inducted into the Hall of Fame at the Hibbing Raceway. So congratulations, first off.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
So, all right, I'm just going to go, we're right off the cuff here. So about 1987, 80, I come to the races. Here's this guy with a toter home and an enclosed hauler. Tell me about that. You were like one of the first.
Well, it wasn't mine. It was Salmer's,
Yeah.
and they had some pretty good equipment for us. And we had a couple pretty good years. We ran up here, then kind of got involved with NASCAR racing, some regional stuff. We ran up here during quite a few of the invitationals. Had some good runs. Had a lot of fun up here, and really quite an honor to be in this Hall of Fame with all these people. And I was looking on that plaque of all the people that are there before us, and it's really an honor to be with such a cool crowd.
Oh, totally deserving, guys. Ton of races here in Hibbing 1. So let's step back a little bit. You were in the 13, won the Labor Day shooter. What did they say, 81?
Yeah, 81 I won that. Silver 1000. Won Silver 1000, 82. Thunderbird Open.
And that was in Casson?
That was in Casson.
Yeah.
Won Russ Larson, and I've got another challenge series down there. I think that was kind of I consider it one of my Russ Larson. That I don't think it's called that any longer, but that was still a full race.
So you hail out of St. Cloud, and Alexandria is right there. Cedar Lake is over there. Why did you come to Hibbing? What was the lure to Hibbing?
The money. The money was good up here. We ran 81. We ran 4 nights a week. We ran Superior, Hibbing, Proctor, and Thunder Bay. We did that for 3 years. We weren't working. We were just racing.
So you were basically a professional race car driver at that, one of the originals.
It was really neat that you could do it then, because the money was good and the costs were reasonable. So it was fun that I had the opportunity to do it when I did it. I also had at that time, the same 3 years, Scott Center helped me nonstop, and I couldn't have done it without him. We right out of high school.
Really?
Yeah, 2 kids right out of high school. He helped me from when we were 17 and go out there and just kind of had the car hooked up pretty good and had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, that 4F. So I remember you on jack stands over here, rinsing off, 4 jack stands back in the day. So why the change from 13 to 4F? Because you were like the first person that had a number and a letter.
Well, it was a number and a letter long before people had numbers and letters.
Right, exactly.
That number came from Joe Salner, who drove for my dad back in the day. But that was early 50s, back after World War II, and everybody had numbers. There were 3 to go, 3-2. They were all 4F was a non-qualifier for the military, is what Joe always said anyhow.
So tell me about Joe Salner. Like you said, you raced for him. I've heard of him. I know nothing about him. Like I said, I was just a huge fan back in the day. Tell us about him a little bit.
Well, my dad, in 1967, my dad had other guys racing for him, but I remember in 67, Joe came and started driving for my dad, and it was like, wow, we've got the guy. And they started winning races. They really did. They had an old Russ Larson car, and Joe and my dad, there was a modified car, and they just killed it. They went to the fall race up in Thunder Bay, and they said, well, they had 4 Weber carburetors on their car, and all the modified guys got together and said they had to run with the fuel-injected sprint cars because they've been running so strong, and they ended up taking second to Barry Kettering up there.
Yeah, I remember that name. Yeah.
Yeah, and that car was just bad fast, and I was really proud of Joe. Was a wheel man, and my dad could really get that thing to haul. And it was a good bunch to learn from, hang around. Scott was his son, and he was a crew chief on the car, the 4F car all the time, and we had a lot of laps together.
So tell me about the hauler. So like I was just telling you, when I was late 80s, there was only one guy, well, Mitch Johnson and you.
Yeah.
Enclosed trailer, you had the hauler, you had the picture, the Amoco Ultimate, remember that? I mean, the 4F, I mean, you were the cat's meow. So tell me about, I mean, like, did people talk to you about that? I mean, what was the deal with that? You were the first one.
Well, it was just, it was a deal of convenience, but you know, that hauler didn't win a race for us. You had to unload that thing, and everybody had an open trailer before they had an enclosed one, and you know, but it was really nice in a rain out situation and being out of town, and we ran on the road with NASCAR, with some touring series, and just to be able to keep everything locked up and in one place. We were fortunate enough having Solners behind us so we could have equipment like that, that's for sure.
So tell me about Thunder Bay. Like, there's a lot of young viewers that don't even remember those, but I was there as a kid before I even remember. My parents brought us up there. We went up the Lawrence Shore, watched the colors. Tell us your memories or what you remember about that big Thunder Bay Invitation, because that was big back in the day.
Oh, it was huge. And I mean, I can remember, I don't think I got to go along when Joe and all those guys went up there, because they just basically had a pickup truck and a topper, and you know, they had a couple guys and that was it. But I remember later years they'd send cars along with them, and it was just a remarkable deal. I mean, there were guys from states that would just rent the entire hotel, and it would just be an entire party up there, because it was such a Woodstock scene, or whatever you want to say.
Woodstock of racing.
Yeah,
the Woodstock of racing. Yeah,
that
because that's the way my dad made it sound like. There was nothing better.
It was huge, and I mean, that was going on when I could barely remember it. So, but we were definitely, it was quite a deal.
Okay, shout out to everyone in Thunder Bay, and you got the new track going. So shout out to you. Hopefully, over time, you could build that back up. So
I hope you guys kill it up there. That track looks like it should be great, and there's such huge interest up there. Yeah, Timco and the day. Oh, we used to put a lot of laps. We've had a lot of laps and a lot of laughs.
So Hibbing Hall of Fame. So I got to ask you this: what your favorite memory, or what do you remember? Is there a night, or is there a time, or a season that you remember most about Hibbing?
Well, the thing I remember most about Hibbing was that Labor Day shootout when we won, and Zen was pounding on the back of the car with both his hands. And that was probably my most memorable moment at Hibbing when we won. And I can't say exactly what he said, but he was pretty excited. It was a pretty awesome time. That was my most memorable moment at winning Labor Day, and Zen coming out on the track after we won. And running in the swamp now. Wait a minute.
So one of my favorite things was, you know, you kind of semi-retired, but, you know, we'd go to the Silver and you would show up. That was like one of the few times up here you'd show up.
Yeah.
So when was the last time you were actually in a car?
10 years ago.
So in 11?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had undergone my 5th spinal surgery, and thought it probably wasn't such a good idea to get back in the car. I wish I could, but you know, there's a lot of G-forces going on in a body after 34 years. So,
all right. So just to end here, your most memorable time in a dirt late model? Like I said, you've got back then. For those of you who are listening, you don't know, there used to be. Alex was not Wazota at the time. They had this NASCAR series, big money at that time. I know you've got, do you have a Cedar Lake Championship too?
Yeah.
About 90 or 89 or something.
Yeah,
so what's your most memorable moment in a dirt late model? Man. Can you name one?
Well, it'd probably be passing Nesbitt up here in 81.
For the Labor Day.
That Labor Day race. He was a big dog. We were 21-year-old sit-faced kids, and we got one on him there. And, you know, that was I felt it more of an honor than anything to pass him, because he was the man. no doubt.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And that was in the 13 car. So those of you that are my age, you remember 4F. Previous to my generation, it was number 13. So thank you so much. Congratulations.
You bet.
Most importantly,
Thank you.
it's a great honor. You totally deserve it. Hibbing Hall of Fame.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we'll
Appreciate
catch you
it.
on the next video.
Okay.